Bruce Harrel. Mayor Harrel has been a champion of this work from the very beginning. I'm gonna look at the archives here, and the facts are that in 2016, he signed the resolution adopting the community goals and strategies of the Equity and Environment Agenda, which laid the foundation to embed race and social justice in the city's environmental efforts. And one of the key strategies in that agenda was the creation of this very program, the Environmental Justice Fund. And from the start, Mayor Harrel recognized the importance of centering community-led environmental solutions, and he backed that vision with his vote. Thank you, Mayor, for doing this. He later reaffirmed this commitment as president of the City Council by passing the resolution to establish Seattle's Green New Deal for Seattle in 2019. Also, thank you for that. Since taking office as mayor, he has continued to prioritize investments that support those most impacted by the climate crisis. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to our mayor, Bruce Harrel.
Thank you very much. You know, the last two speakers, Roma Jean and Cesar, they gave some very, very powerful words. But I know for a fact they weren't slow. They didn't follow the instructions. Too much energy. I will lower my pace a little bit for the translator, slow it up a little bit. So I am surrounded by a room of people. Something went right in your life. Some mother or father or grandparent or aunt or uncle has told you to dedicate your time and your commitment and your resources to someone or something bigger than yourself. Public service, caring about the planet, caring about people who aren't in this room right now. It feels good to be around people who are that selfless. And I don't say that in a token way because I see on a daily basis a lot of selfish, I-S-H, selfish people. That would not be you. And so I'm honored to be your mayor, and this EJ Fund, as Jimena talked about, for me at least, is us as a city at our best. I need to say, Liliana and Jimena and others in the OSC group, you model what we're trying to do. You too, Michelle. They're up here right now.
This is good, Mayor.
They model what we're having to do while we are in this war right now. Well, make no mistake about it, we are in a war right now. And when we talk about climate justice, I read an article the other day that I was being criticized by the other Washington, D.C. for being radical in our fight for equity and climate.
Woo! All right.
And I was sitting with my wife at the time and I read that and I said, well, these are good things, aren't they? Since when did these become bad things? And they became bad things at the same time people are trying to rewrite history and unwrite us from the history books. And right now, there's probably no less than 10 languages that are spoken in this room. No less. We are at our best when we understand and value and treasure our different cultures, our different languages, our different religions. That is when our country is at our best. We're not trying to go back. Remember, progress always moves forward. And this EJ Fund, for me as your mayor, at least, is us moving forward, doing the right things. I want to ground us in a quote. The course for justice is not a sprint. I know a lot of you are younger than me, but I could probably still out sprint you, but it's not a sprint. It's more like a marathon or a relay race. You pass the baton to the next generation, and you hope there's a smooth pass off. But at the same time, you don't leave that next generation to run the race by itself. And a quote, that was from Robert Bullard, an American academic known as the father of environmental justice. Now, we know that the burden of the climate crisis does not affect everyone the same. It is not equal. The research will show that in our state of Washington, 46% of all toxic sites are mostly populated by people of color, and 56% of those sites are lower income residents. We know that lower income and BIPOC neighborhoods in Seattle have a higher rate of ultrafine pollutants in the air, leading to health problems like asthma, heart, and respiratory disease. 26.5% of households in Southeast Seattle experience food insecurity, and you heard some words about the food insecurity issues, and Roma Jean, thank you for your leadership in this space. That's the highest rate in the city in Southeast Seattle. So, it's not optional that we do this work. We have to do this work, it's as simple as that. And I talk to mayors throughout the country. I have the privilege, one of the, I guess, the perks of the job, or at least the opportunities I've been able, I started going fast again, sorry, let me slow my roll, as my kids would say. I had the opportunity to build friendships with almost every mayor of every major city. And I brag about you. Not braggadocio. My mother always said, you don't brag. I shouldn't say brag. I boast about you. No, I describe you like this, that in Seattle I have the greatest community-based organizations. Make no mistake about it, they can be critical, but always for the right reasons. They will hold you accountable as they should. But most importantly, I think as Cesar said, they will put in the work. These are investments, these are not costs. So I close by saying, thank you for putting in the work. This is some of the best work we can do. You're not only fighting for clean air, clean water, food insecurity, you're fighting for the next generation. And when we're all dust, when we're all gone, that will be our legacy. So in this war, we are in this together. I will promise you, I will champion our verse for diversity, equity, and inclusion. I will not mince words and know what it's like to be excluded from a meeting. I know what it's like to suffer a microaggression. I know what it's like to be thought of as inferior. But not here in Seattle. We're going to hold together, we're going to fight together. The Mariners are on a winning streak right now. I don't want to jinx them, but I might put the Harrel jinx on them if I say this. But there's one lesson that's coming out of their little win streak. That's teamwork. I think that's why when the World Cup comes here, and we get over 1 billion people watching, this is teamwork. So in Seattle, remember this, we have to have the strongest teams. That doesn't mean we have to agree on everything, but at the end of the day, Cesar, at the end of the day, we have to see ourselves as a winning team. And these investments in this fund demonstrates we have a winning team. Thank you very much.
More emotions. Thank you so much, Mayor Harrel, for your beautiful words. I think you really embodied the spirit of this work. We build on so many generations before us. We're creating a legacy for the ancestors that will come after us. And I'm just really grateful. And with that, I say, I have to slow down, but where am I? Okay, well, thank you so much for being here. We have some refreshments for you.